Cool. Okay, I guess that was one clip. We're gonna see how we can make this work. So my boy Adam asked, what's your go-to lure for hammering largies? Which is a fun one, because I don't know if I'd say I hammer largies. But if it's up to me, you know, anytime I can. Good, how are you guys doing?
Good. Beautiful day out, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm throwing a Texas rig or a jig any chance I get. Anything heavy on bottom that I can really cock back on them with, that's what I like fishing. So yeah, Texas rig or a jig, those are probably my favorites. I mean, I love a frog bite too. That's a close third. All right. Let's get the outside edge here. Oh. Picked up and put down. Like a bad habit. Kind of want to get back in there with something a little lighter. So we're switching out the punch rig for just a traditional Texas rig. And then I'll go on to the next question. Yesterday we went to the Northeast Atlantic Blues Festival and we had damn near perfect weather. Today's pretty good too, but we got a little bit more sun going on. Doesn't really make for great fishing. Honestly, the time that we're out here isn't great either. It's like midday, but you do what you can in the time that you're allotted. All right. Let me pull up another question. Let's see. Interesting. Funny enough, was just talking about this compound the other day. What's a good starting dose of DMP and how do I titrate up? Well, my friend, here's my thoughts on DMP, and it's pretty harsh. Respect to all those who use it. I've never used it. I will never use it. But my thoughts on DMP, tiny little largie. I guess you gotta start somewhere. Deuce is very interested. We'll show Deuce what's going on here. Yeah, my thoughts on DMP are pretty simple. And you can argue, oh, you can overdose on anything you take. Cool. You can. You take enough of anything, like an idiot, you can. But DMP cooks you from the inside out. And there's no coming back from it. There's no anti-DMP. There's no pumping stomachs. There's nothing like that. You like that guy? All right, say bye to him. And I also believe this. If your coach is subscribing and prescribing DMP respectfully with all the compounds we have available to us, T3, T4, clenbuterol, ECA, peptides, Retta, cardarine, SARMs, everything, dieting, cardio. If your coach can't get you shredded with all those and you need to be on DMP, your coach probably ain't shit. Respectfully. Yeah, I mean, I just think there are too many tools to get people lean these days. And if you're relying on DMP, this probably isn't for you, and your coach probably ain't for this sport either. I know a lot of coaches out there that do use it and prescribe it. We can have those talks at another time. Maybe they're not as good as you think they are. That's my thoughts on DMP. You can probably get plenty lean enough without it, my friend. You're probably just not with the right coach, respectfully. All right. Wow, I actually caught a fish on camera for you guys. Not a big fish, but a fish. Sorry about this wind noise. Let's see if I can get my body out of it. We'll give it a second here. I'm gonna kind of move around a bit. See what happens? I told you guys I love the T-rig. I pick up the T-rig, and what happens? I get a fish. All right, we're gonna travel to a different part of the lake. And whilst we are doing that, I'm gonna find a couple more questions for you guys that I can answer. Mic's on. We're now at the north end of the lake going up to the river, and I just saw a big 4-pounder cruise past, so maybe I can make something happen for you, being the weekend warrior I am. Probably not, though. All right. Let me make a couple more casts, and then I'll go back to the Q&A. But this looks real good. I'm throwing the T-rig again before we get up into like the thick of it, and I'm just throwing on those pad edges. Probably that grass line too. Probably worth the grass line on the way back. Yeah, beautiful day. Shooting a podcast later with the boys. Hopefully we have a special guest on tonight, or later this week. But it sounds like he might be able to make it on. So excited for that one. Should be a good one. See, maybe you can hear that through my microphone. Deuce is incredibly needy, and really hasn't calmed down once since we've been out here. He's already jumped in the water once and blown up a spot, jumping in after God knows what. Had to fish him out. I do have a frog tied on too. If I see him blowing up on top again, I'll probably throw the frog. But they were kind of blowing up in the open water. I saw a bunch of rises. About to switch it up and punch a bit. Look, Deuce, they got a dog on their boat too. Bet he's not whining like a little goddamn baby. All right, punch rig it is. Oh. So this one, I have a plum colored Magnum Rage Craw tied on. Yeah. It's not a ideal punching bait because usually when you're punching, you want the least amount of resistance going through pad, veg, cover, mats, whatever it might be. So like something a little more tubular without arms is usually better, but I, like most guys, like plum in the summer, and the Rage, Magnum Rage just gets bites. So I'm gonna throw it. Unconventional, I know, but I'm an unconventional dude. This is exciting. Definitely think I missed a fish back in there, but I saw one rise right there. So let's see if we can get this. Chat, is that what the kids say these days? Chat. Should we see if we can get him on top water? Chat. So here I got a Spro frog tied on to some 50-pound braid. Direct, no leader. I don't know what people's stance is on leaders when frog fishing, but to me it's tied to straight braid. Heavy. Like I said, I'm throwing 50-pound. So if I do connect with anything of substantial size, I can horse him out. It's also a bigger 200 size reel and a heavy rod. This is kind of my impromptu frog setup. Tis almost frogging season. My favorite time of the year, one of them. I love early spring fishing, but frogging is incredibly fun. Nothing like watching that little guy get ate. Even when they roll on it and they don't commit, like, it's still fun to watch. I haven't answered a goddamn thing. Okay. All right. If you could go back to your younger years and do one thing differently in bodybuilding in life, what would it be? Huh. Well, I'll tell you in bodybuilding, it would have been taking my off seasons more serious. And what I mean by that is it's not like I stopped training or eating. It's just that, like, let's say 5 meals of 7 meals a day would be clean and hit macros. And then I would have 2 meals that were just kind of garbage. And, you know, I really, at that time, could only afford a coach in prep. Oh, y'all see that? I did get hit through the pads. But yeah, if I could have afforded or just been a little more, had a little more self-control or been a little more self-sufficient, I think I would have made progress quicker. As far life-wise, I wish I had finished what I had planned to do in college. Now I know that's like college isn't for everybody and it's overpriced and people pay their debts off their whole life, but part of me just wishes to have that alma mater and kind of finish something that I had started. So I think those are my two. Keeping a coach in the off season and finishing school. Sorry, I'm trailing off a little bit here while I talk. It's because when bites start happening, I get a little more locked in and my brain goes fish mode versus bodybuilding mode or answering questions mode. I'll tell you what, chat. My feet are fucking burning up. For those who don't know, I've never been sunburnt in my life until we went to Puerto Rico last year and spent a day on the water. Like, we went snorkeling on a reef and stuff. We spent the whole day on the water. And, well, I never use sunscreen, so I didn't use sunscreen. And I think being closer to the equator, I don't know if it makes a difference, but in my mind, that's the bro science, right? Closer to the equator, sun's stronger, and then it's magnified by the water. When we got back into the car and then we're driving to the next Airbnb, I was like, God, man, my skin feels so tight and like weird. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then Shay was like, I think you got sunburn. And sure enough, like, for me, it didn't end up hurting. Like, I was never in pain or anything, but my skin on my shoulders after a day or two did peel a bit, so. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Oh, because my feet are so hot. Shout out to Tyler Williams. He fishes. He's the Barefoot Bandit. He always fishes barefoot. And he's white. That man has fucking rhino skin on his feet or something. Shay's warm, I know. If I could get one frogfish for you guys, that'd be pretty cool. As long as it's not a frog pike. We want a frog bass. What's that? Oh. Lame. Ride with the mob. All right, next bodybuilding question. You back there. Growing up, or even now, I guess, what were some of your dream careers or hobbies that you wanted to do and why? Well, for those who don't know, I played basketball. Basketball was the love before bodybuilding. Played AAU, high school, prep school, college basketball. Even after college, there was a stint there when I was trying to go overseas and play. So that was the obsession. You see now, obviously, I'm fishing. That's been my other obsession in life. And fishing is still a hobby for me now. Really don't fish any like tournaments or anything like that anymore. I did a little bit when I was younger and growing up, which is very fun. I enjoy it, but like for me, I just like chasing my own personal best fish. Which right now for me is a 6-pound, 5-ounce largemouth. Doubt I'll break that this summer, and I only say that because I am not fishing very hard. But yeah, I mean, ideally I'd love to catch a 7s like the next goal. What's that? No, I got sidetracked. It was the hobby, but I finished the hobby question. Oh, career? Oh. Shay just corrected me. This has nothing to do with hobbies. This is careers. My dream career? All right. I guess I really never had one. Oh, that's where I was going with the basketball thing. Yeah, I wanted to play professional basketball, but what kid doesn't? You get quick reality check when you get like to the high school, prep school level that like NBA's out of reach for sure. Maybe overseas stuff is possible if you're like that or you have a good agent. But other than that, careers, man, I had no idea what I wanted to do as a kid or into my 20s. Even when I was in college, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So yeah, that one for me is a tough one because I never really had a dream job. Now my dream job, anything that makes me enough money to live to the means that I live by, and I don't hate doing it every day, and there's a sense of enjoyment 75% of the time. So woo. All right, next question. All right. Put Nick Walker's mindset, brain, mental fortitude on these bodybuilders below. Who wins the most, Mr. O's? Andrew Jack, Regan Grimes, Nexzilla, Flex Wheeler, Trey Brewer. So this is a loaded question because we all see Nick Walker, right? The bodybuilding only mindset, kind of like Jay was. Don't leave my house. It's just bodybuilding. That's a great mindset, but that mindset doesn't work for. I'm sorry, but I got bit. Oh, yep. Got bit, people, and I set the hook and it flung back and it perfectly hit Shay and the camera damn near in the face. So let's try this again. Pads are thick, boy. What I was saying, that mindset doesn't work for everybody. Some people need the little relief from bodybuilding to be a better bodybuilder. But I don't know. I think if Flex Wheeler, because from what I always heard, he was so genetically gifted that it wasn't always like the most locked in somebody could be. With those genetics Flex had, if he had that all in, only bodybuilding mindset, man, with that, just the frame he had, the muscle bellies he had, the tie-ins he had, I'm probably gonna go Flex Wheeler. All right, guys. Oh, something waked. My frog is not touching the water. I was just about to call it, guys, and tell you thanks for watching. But a fish waked on my bait. So I'm gonna give it one more toss back up in there and see if I can get you guys a frogfish before we leave. No bueno. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. If you do like this, tell Deuce, and I'll do another episode sometime. And send more questions next time. Hey. I didn't answer the questions online because I was saving them up for this. So if you thought your question was going to get answered like by a talking head little video, I'm sorry, but I was saving all these questions for doing this weekend. And if you guys like it, I'll do more of these. Thanks for watching. Till next time.